Few pastries evoke the image of French cuisine quite like the croissant. Its golden brown crescent shape is instantly recognizable. The aroma of butter and delicate sweetness is utterly irresistible. But the croissant is more than just a delicious treat. It represents a rich history and a dedication to culinary excellence. It is a symbol of French elegance in the world of pastries. The croissant story begins long before its arrival in France, tracing back through centuries of culinary history. Its origins lie in Austria, where a different kind of pastry captivated palates centuries ago, long before the croissant became a French staple. The journey of the croissant, from its humble beginnings to its iconic status, is a testament to the power of culinary evolution and the influence of cultural exchange. It also illustrates how food can transcend borders and become a beloved symbol of a nation, uniting people through shared tastes and traditions. Section 2. Origins in Austria. The legend of the Kipferl. The ancestor of the croissant is the Austrian pastry known as the Kipferl, a treat that has been enjoyed for generations. The Kipferl dates back to at least the 13th century. Legends surround its creation, adding a layer of mystique to its history. One popular tale links the Kipferl's shape to the crescent moon on the Ottoman flag, symbolizing a significant historical event. The story goes that Viennese bakers, working through the night, heard the Turks tunneling under the city walls and alerted the city, thus saving Vienna from invasion, a heroic act that would be remembered for centuries. To commemorate their heroism, the bakers created a pastry in the shape of the crescent moon, a symbol of their bravery and vigilance. Whether or not the legend holds true, the Kipferl became a beloved treat in Austria, cherished by many. It was enjoyed with coffee or tea, becoming a staple in Austrian cafes and homes. The Kipferl was originally a denser pastry, unlike the light and airy croissant we know today, reflecting the baking techniques of its time. Its evolution began when it crossed borders and found a new home in France, where it would undergo a transformation to become the croissant we recognize today. The croissant's arrival in France is often attributed to Marie Antoinette, the Austrian-born Queen of France, who was known for her love of fine pastries and luxurious tastes. Homesick for the flavors of her homeland, she is said to have introduced the Kipferl, a crescent-shaped pastry, to the French court in the late 18th century. The French aristocracy, always eager to embrace new culinary delights, quickly fell in love with this foreign pastry. They were enchanted by its unique crescent shape and rich buttery flavor, which was unlike anything they had tasted before. While the story of Marie Antoinette and the croissant is widely circulated, it's important to note that historical evidence supporting this tale is scant and largely anecdotal. Nevertheless, there is no doubt that the Kipferl's introduction to France marked the beginning of a remarkable transformation in French pastry making. Inspired by the Austrian pastry, French bakers set out to make it their own, eventually creating the iconic croissant we know and love today. French bakers, renowned for their dedication to their craft, saw the potential in the Kipferl, a traditional Austrian pastry. They adapted the recipe, using their expertise to create a pastry that was lighter, flakier, and more delicate than its Austrian predecessor, transforming it into something uniquely French. The key to this transformation was the use of high-quality French butter, incorporated into the dough through a meticulous process of layering and folding, which added richness and flavor. This technique, known as laminating, resulted in a pastry with countless thin layers, each contributing to the croissant's unique texture. When baked, the butter between these layers creates steam, causing the dough to puff up and resulting in the croissant's signature airy texture, which is both light and crispy. The French also refined the shape of the pastry, emphasizing its crescent form and giving it the name croissant, meaning crescent in French, a nod to its elegant and iconic shape.